Hello, friends and traders. This is Punam. Welcome to my channel, FinMarket View, your guide to smart market moves. Please look at the disclaimer. This is not a financial advice. All right, let's dive into the charts. Broad market update, weekend edition. We'll start with SPX, S&P 500 index. SPX price closed at on Friday 56.59, and this whole week is a trading range between 57.25 and 55.50 range. Look for the overhead supply next week to the 57.50, 58.50 is a sell areas, and anything price push back up is a resistance, strong resistance. Anything come down to 5400, 5350 is the short-term demand areas on SPX index. Momentum is little slowly slow down, but next week I'm looking for a shorting opportunity on SPX. Moving on to SPY ETF trading range last week due to FOMC Fed meeting, but look for the supply and overhead sell areas on SPY 575, 585 if the price push back to this area, and the near-term demand or 540, 535 is the one demand areas, and also 520, 515 another near-term short-term demand on SPY. Moving on to Nasdaq Index, tight range same as S&P 20,061 price closed on Friday, and look for another price to this 21,000 is a strong overhead supply on Nasdaq Index. Any price pushback is 18,000 is a buying opportunity, but for now next week I'm looking for a shorting opportunity on this Nasdaq Index. Moving on to QQQ, right now it's QQQ price closed on Friday 491. It's close to the overhead supply on 493 and 503. So any pushback to this area is a selling opportunity next week on this strong resistance on QQQ. Any pushback down to 470, 465 is a buying opportunity on a short-term basis on QQQ. Moving on to TQQ, TQQ is still our overhead supply is 65.70 and near-term demand on 53.52 on TQQ. Moving on to Dow Jones. Dow Jones price index closed at 41,000 on this area, and look for short-term overhead supply next week to 42,100 and 42,850. There is no significant demand below under this price to 39,000. Moving on to Diamond DIA ETF, price closed at 412 on Friday, and look for the overhead supply 425, 430 on Dow Jones Industrial DIA ETF. Any push down to the 385 is a buying opportunity on DIA. But for now, next week is watchable areas on the supply overhead sell areas level 425 and 430. Moving on to Russell small cap index, price is right now closed at 2023. Our overhead supply is 2125, 2200 is a sell areas, and 1895, 1823 is a buy areas on Russell. We can move on to IWM. IWM 205, 210 is a sell areas. Anything price push back to 205 is a sell opportunity on IWM next week. Anything price push back to 185 is a buying opportunity, but definitely watchable areas for next week is a selling opportunity on 205, 210 on IWM ETF. Moving on to VIX volatility index is crushed and S&P is going up, so look for there is a volatility might increase from this level 2018 level next week, another down to this area, and then eventually goes to at least the 35 areas on VIX, which will go down S&P on equity market. Moving on to crude oil. Crude oil last week we have some strength showing up in the crude oil, but right now it's a tight range between 65 and 55. So we have a long-term demand areas on 55, 50 is a long-term crude oil strong demand areas. Moving on to gold futures. Gold right now, last week price came to this area and it has been held, and then we have a strong reaction to the upside for last week, couple of days, and then it got sold off from 380, 3500 to back to 3300 fair value area. So definitely is a tight range between 3500, 3200 for at least next week. But the long-term areas on gold is still 33,000 and 2975 still in the cards. Last two charts, Dixie and Bitcoin. Moving on to Dixie dollar index, we have a little momentum upside, so definitely watchable areas to close to 103, 104,750. That's where price anticipation moving to the upside. Further, then moving down to back to the lows. So this price has been held on the dollar index 99.97. So we're looking for another short-term trend up to the 103, 107, 104,750. Last chart of the day, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a humongous rally for the last couple of weeks, at least. Right now, price held at 103, the short-term supply. But these are the pullback areas, 86,500 and 97,500, two areas, short-term entry, and then a little bit of long-term entry on 86,000. If it breaks down, then this demand zone becomes strong support areas if this breaks down. That's it for the weekend edition. Thank you.
Thank you all to share my thoughts on the markets. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a market update. Stay happy, stay fit, stay healthy, and have a safe trading and investing.